The gift exchange game. The gift exchange game was conducted by Fehr, Kirchsteiger, and Riedel. In the gift exchange game, there is an anonymous market with employers and workers. There is excess supply of workers, and the higher a worker's effort, the higher the employer's profit, and the lower the worker's profit. This means the employer benefits from the effort exerted by the worker, but at the same time, exerting effort is costly for the worker. Importantly, the contracts written between the worker and the employer do not specify workers' effort levels. So the effort is deliberately chosen by the worker. The timing is as follows. The employers, they make wage proposals. Then each worker can accept an offer. And in the third stage, the workers that accepted a wage, they then choose an effort level. One interpretation of this setting is a principal-agent relation with highly incomplete contracts. Next, we want to look at the theoretical analysis of the situation. And we will consider the original setting from their experiment. Note first that in the experiments, wages needed to be multiples of 5. The profits are as follows. The employer's profit is given by 126 minus the wage times the effort level chosen by the worker if the wage offer was accepted, and if the wage offer was not accepted, the employer's profit was just 0. For the worker, if a worker remained unemployed, the profit was just 0. And if the worker accepted an offer, then the profit was the wage minus 26 minus the effort costs. On the right-hand side of the screen, you can see the effort cost function. So the worker chose an effort level between 0.1 and 1. When the chosen effort level was 0.1, the worker had to exert no costs. And if the worker chose to provide effort level of 1, the costs were 18. So again, we employ backward induction to solve the problem, to come up with a prediction. What we see is that exerting effort of 0.1 maximizes a worker's payoff. In the second stage, on the third stage, the worker just wants to maximize his profit, and by choosing the lowest possible effort level, this profit is maximized. In this case, the worker's costs are just 26, which means the worker accepts all offers that are 30 or larger. The employer anticipates that the worker's effort level is not correlated to the wage that is paid. So in the worker's profit maximization, the wage plays no role. It has no influence on the optimal level of effort. So the employer can maximize the profit by offering the lowest acceptable wage level, which is just a wage of 30. So summing up, we expect, or theory based on completely selfish individuals tells us that in this setting, we should always observe the lowest possible effort level and wages equal to 30. Now let's look at the empirical findings. What do we see? We see that wages are substantially higher than 30. We see a clear positive relation between wage and effort. The higher the wage, the higher the average effort. That is what you can see on the right-hand side. So on the x-axis, there's a wage. On the y-axis is the average effort level. So you can see a clear positive correlation between wage and effort. What you can't see in this picture is that there's at the same time a huge or substantial heterogeneity among workers. So 40 to 50% of the workers show a reciprocal effort pattern, which means for these workers, higher wages result in higher effort provision. On the other hand, there's also a fraction of about 50% that behaves purely selfish or deviates, let's say, randomly from the self-interest action. So for them, there's no clear relationship between the wage they receive and the effort they provide. The key observation is that many workers are willing to give up money to reciprocate high wages. So if you remember the ultimatum game, what we saw there is people or subjects in the lab, they were willing to forego profits in order to prevent unfair outcomes in which they were worse off than other players. In this case here, we observe that the participants in the experiment were also willing to give up money to establish a fair outcome, to reciprocate high wages with high effort.